Okay, we're recording and timer started. So go for it whenever you're ready.
Okay. Welcome to the Anime Academy. I am your headmaster, Paolo.
Hold up, hold up. Did you say anime? Academy?
Is it anime? Did I not
Bro,
say
you said
anime?
anime.
I said anime, didn't I? God damn. Okay, let me do that again. Jesus. Okay. Hello, and welcome to the Anime Academy. I'm your headmaster, Paulo,
And I'm Zakk.
and class is now in session. So today we are actually going to be doing something a little bit different from our regular format. We
Just a little
are
bit.
Yeah, just a little bit,
Yeah.
little spice up your life. We're going to be telling you guys more about ourselves and how like we kind of got into anime.
It's an interesting topic because I don't want to say it's culty, but like it's definitely not super mainstream. It's something that you kind of get introduced to or fall upon at some point.
Right, like either like a friend shows you or like you're just scrolling through something on TV or like Netflix suggests like, "Hey, maybe you should watch this." And then you're like, "Oh, this is cool." And then once you like start it, imagine a bag of chips and that bag of chips
Bag
is
of chips.
anime,
Right.
right? And then you open the bag, your starter anime, have you? And then you eat, like you enjoy the chip, and you're like, "Wow, this was a really good chip. I would like another one." And then now you have a full bag of chips, and you just keep going back in.
For sure. I mean, it's an interesting analogy too, because you talk about different flavors of chips, right?
See, and there's different genres of anime, so it makes this is the best analogy I've heard.
I think, yeah, it's really important what your first couple of anime you watch are, right? Like, I think a great majority of people start off with like
Yeah,
shonen anime, and a lot of people just stick to that, right? They never explore outside of it. Whereas other people, somebody shows them like Gundam or something,
hmm
and all of a sudden, they're hooked.
right.
So I don't know. What about you, Paulo? How did you get into anime?
Oh Lord. So let's flash back like years, like the days of my youth, when I was still young and attractive. My earliest anime I remember watching was on YTV, and it was like Naruto, Pokemon, like those were my first two that I kind of remember. And I'm like, okay, these
All
are
right, we're
like,
going there. I see.
well, that's what was on the
No,
television,
no,
dude. Like,
fair, fair.
but then like you have like Teletoon, and it was like Byakugan, and that's the only one I remember watching on Teletoon. But that was like I was very young. I was like 5, 6, 7, and then I fully forgot what anime was until grade 7. And then my sister texted me one night, and she's like, "Yo, are you watching Naruto?" And I was like, "Naruto? What's Naruto?" And she explained it to me. I was like, "Okay, I'll check it out." And I checked it out. I was like, "Okay, this is pretty good." But then she's like, "Okay, like yes, you can watch Naruto, but like here's a list of what else you need to watch." So as I was watching Naruto, I was watching Death Note, and then I got into Attack on Titan. In our previous episode, we talked about the first episode of Attack on Titan, how it just like grips you. I'm like, man, this
Mhm.
is the best thing I've ever seen in my whole life, and it was at the prime age of like 13. Um, and then the rest is history, basically. Like I started going from there, and but then I stopped again because after Naruto finished, I'm like, all right, I've seen enough. Like I this is it.
Mhm.
And then quarantine hit. I'm like, well, I got time on my hands. Let's see how much I can watch. And I've watched like 3 or 4 anime since quarantine hit.
Mm.
But yeah, so that was me, how I got into it. Very like basic, like it wasn't like a huge discovery, like nothing like grand or extraordinary. What about you, good sir? How did you get
Oh
into it?
man. Okay, so I mean, I guess if we're going there, if we're talking about stuff we grew up on, I definitely watched too much Pokemon when I was little.
Yep.
Watched a hell of a lot of Pokemon, Bakugan, same. I watched a little bit of Naruto, but I never knew what was going on when I was
Same.
little.
I was super confused. I was like, why are they like fighting? Like what I don't understand the concept.
I think, yeah, I hadn't watched enough of it to be able to follow the plot because it would be like, here's a filler playing on TV.
Yeah,
Okay, um, so like there was that. Um, I think, well, granted, Avatar: The Last Airbender is not an anime.
I was gonna
Um,
say like, are we do we like is that considered?
no, but I think it is
Okay,
influential to people getting into anime.
yeah, because that series was just wow.
Beyond that, though, like I was watching things as they were airing. Beyblade was huge for me. Like I
Yes,
was always hooked on that, partly because the toys and stuff. It was fun. It was fun, and
yeah,
I mean, Pokemon. It was because of the games, right?
it was the huge fad back in the day. Like everyone had a Beyblade, and
Well,
at a
Bakugan
recess.
too, right? Everybody used to
But
have
the thing
those.
with that though is like it was hard to play at recess. Like with
Mm,
Bakugan, it was like you had you had the things and you had the rollers and you
fair
had like
enough.
some
Yeah,
people brought like
can
full
be over
arenas.
quick. Hmm.
Exactly.
Oh, I knew the ones.
Yeah. My parents never let me have one because like why have anything cool that it's related to anime? But they did let me have Pokemon cards, which were cool, I guess, in grade one.
Yeah, so I mean, all that stuff that you watch as a kid on television for us. Um, I think moving forward, like I had friends who were super into Naruto for years, and it was like, yeah, I'd watch a little bit and then leave it be. I was probably in like the sixth grade or something. I started watching Fairy Tail, started watching Naruto, and like caught up with them, and I was like, okay, cool. Now what?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like when you finish an anime, like okay, like what do I do? Like
I had a falling out with it, and then I think I don't know, I must have been in like seventh grade. I guess not that long, but I came back to it after I watched So I Can't Play H. It's interesting.
like interesting, like how like are people getting like cut up in half or
Nah,
like
nah.
demon?
Interesting in
Oh,
the other way. I mean,
okay.
it's a little
I
bit more
think
mature, but it's also
oh
it was sub only, and that was an excellent step for me because even if the series was crap, it was important for me because that was the first time that I think I actually sat through and watched an entire series with subtitles. Right, an important step I think for people who are really trying to get into anime. Right,
yeah,
there's
I
so
mean
many amazing series that just are not dubbed and they're not going to be dubbed anytime soon. So if you want to experience it.
yeah, like I mean, did I watch like the first Naruto series dubbed? Yeah, because I was lazy. But then at a certain point, Shippuden stopped being dubbed, so I'm like, okay, like now, like you kind of have to. But even that, like I feel it's like step one. Like if you can handle subtitles, you can do anything in life.
Yeah, definitely Naruto is a huge one for a lot of us, you
Hmm.
know. After, Dragon Ball being one of the biggest animes and, Sailor Moon being these big hype shows, Naruto was really, the Dragon Ball of our generation. And that's not to say that Dragon Ball is not still huge.
Hmm.
It totally is. But I think Naruto was able to grow to the same level that Dragon Ball once was.
Yeah, I mean, truth be told, I still haven't watched Dragon Ball to this day. But hoping to change that in the nearby future. I remember when I was in like elementary school and I finished and I was like I caught up to Shippuden and everyone like around school was like, "Yo, like, did you watch the episode?" And I was like, "Yeah, like I did." I felt so cool. Like everyone was kind of like watching it because at the time it was like the war arc, but like in the mid section of the war arc. And for those of us who have watched the entirety of Shippuden, the war arc is like half of this, like majority half of the series, and it's too long. But that's for another episode. So everyone was just kind of like waiting, like, is it a filler? Like, did something happen? Like, what happened? Did anyone watch it? So that was like it was like a cultural. I don't want to say cultural reset, but like it was something that I'll remember like for a long time.
So we've talked about kind of how we were introduced to. Did you have any friends that were like super super into it?
So at elementary school, like I had like a couple people, but when I got into high school, we had our own anime club.
Mm.
So grade nine Paolo was like, these are my people. And we would just like meet after school in like the art room. We'd just like talk about anime. We'd put it on like projection, and like we can watch it and then we'll just talk about it. So then everyone kind of started talking about anime then, and I found like my people there, and then now like graduating high school into uni, like I still have those people from like back from grade 9 who I'll text and I'm like, hey, like what you watching right now? Like I'm watching this. Like what are you watching? So like that is like super dope and super cool.
I had a similar experience in high school because we had an anime club as well. It was actually one of my best friend's older brothers who started it. Same kind of thing. We met in the art room, projector. Everybody wrote down an anime on a piece of paper. We pulled it from a hat and just watched an episode. It was fun, except there were a lot of people who would like to gatekeep. It was nice to see people brought together by anime, but at the same time, it was people judging each other for their taste in anime, which is so weird.
Yeah,
It's unfortunate
I
that
feel
that
that that's with
happens.
like that's like not just with anime, but like anything else like that's like a passion or a drive, whatever. But especially with anime though, because like there are like a million different animes and they all have like a million different genres. So like if one person doesn't like this one, they're like, oh, that's trash. That's like, why are you watching this? Are you five? Like, are you like a kid? And it's just like, no,
Mm.
like sometimes like it's if it's your taste, if it's your taste, and like you shouldn't be ridiculed for that.
Speaking of an embarrassing taste in anime, how about we talk about some of our favorites?
Ooh, okay. You want to get the ball rolling?
Oh man. Okay, well, I guess on that note, I'm a sucker for Sword Art Online, and it
Mhm.
is one of the most hated and ridiculed shows out
You know
there.
what? I haven't watched it solely because every person I talk to is like, don't watch it. It's terrible.
So here's the thing, like Reki Kawahara, I love his writing,
Hmm.
and I will agree, the show messes up a lot of things, but I love the show in concept. And I'm a sucker for a good romance. And let me tell you, there's a good romance story. I don't know. Anyway, so I read the light novels because I'd watched it after 2013, like the entire first season had come out. So I just binged it all in a day. This is it. This is everything.
This is the epitome of life right here.
I thought it was brilliant. And granted, I wasn't super deep into anime at the time. You
Right.
know, it was another starter anime for me. But yeah, I was like right into it because I love the concept. I went out, I bought the light novels, and I've been reading and keeping up with them since. When I read the first light novel, I realized that I was disappointed by the series, and I didn't
Ah,
know it yet. That said, most people who hate on the show haven't read the books. Like
I
the
see. Yeah.
books are really, really good. Most people who I've talked to, they watch the first season, they're like, this is brilliant. They watch the second season, they're like, I hate this show. Either that or they
Wow.
watch the first two seasons and they're like, this is amazing because that's all that there was up until recently. It's one that people like while they're watching it and then grow to
Right.
hate because they learn the anime community hates it. I definitely recommend checking it out because it is a cool concept for a show. The other thing too is like anybody who watched it previously and thought it was trash, especially after watching the second season, like I respect that. But the third season, it's like a whole different show. It's super, super cool. Yeah, I guess my favorite anime is like at least mainstream stuff. Blue Exorcist is right up there. Death Note right up there. Attack on Titan. I loved Fairy Tale. Not something that has stuck with me or that I feel like sitting down and binging the whole thing again. But
Hmm.
I loved Fairy Tale while I was watching it. Naruto, same thing. Okay, if I had to choose like five though, it's definitely Death Note, Sword Art, Blue Exorcist, Shippuden, and Attack on Titan. At
In that
least
order?
for mainstream stuff. No, 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 not necessarily in that order. Just
Okay.
like those are the
Because I was
five
about to question you
set up there.
about the low placement of Attack on Titan, sir.
What
How dare you
AOT
put it
being
at number
last?
five?
No, 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 no.
I was gonna say,
Especially
like,
not now. Like that's a current show. I'm still watching. I'm still
yeah,
hyped
yeah,
about every week. No, that's way up there.
yeah.
Um, yeah. What about you? I'm curious.
Okay, I've watched a good handful. I well, okay, the first one I like watched in its entirety before I watched Naruto was Death Note, and
Hmm.
that show was just immaculate in every single way possible, shape, and
Oh
form.
man,
Like what to say about Death Note? So that is in my top five.
Death Note, man. Anytime L or Light are putting a plan into action, I had a shit-eating grin on my face. I was like
Yeah.
so happy.
It's so like strategical, like in their planning. Okay, like like no thought is half-assed. Like they need to
Mm.
think about like every situation possible and how they can catch the other person so they can confirm.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's plot holes, but that
Oh
happens with
yeah,
everything. It's so well thought out, generally speaking, you know? That is a show that I can binge over and over again.
it's so good, but like we don't talk about the Netflix adaptation. Like
Yeah, no, no comment. No comment.
yeah. So yeah, Death Note, Attack on Titan for sure. That show again, beautiful. I watched Evangelion, and that show completely
Ooh.
messed with my mind. I was distraught for an entire day. I didn't talk to my family for a solid day. I kind of just like stayed in my room. Like I was not okay after that. Like I needed a hug. I needed some like human interaction after that one. Cause oh man, that show, like I mean, it was repetitive. Like an angel comes, kill the angel. Like you kind of know what's gonna happen every episode, but like the artistry on each individual angel and like their significant power and how like they had to use the Evas to like fight them. Like I thought that was
Mm.
so interesting and cool. And like, oh man, I don't think I have the mindset to watch that again because it was good. It's good. It's amazing. But like, oh man, it takes you for a trip. Okay, I'll say Shippuden because like that was good. Like it was good. Like it's
Mm.
just fast. And then this one's a Netflix original, I believe. It's called Devilman Crybaby. For
Oh yeah.
those for those of us who don't know what that is, it's basically a battle between good and evil. Demons and like devils are trying to take over the earth again. That's all much I'll say because like the rest of the series is like so like gripping and like the animation. I really love the animation style because it's very like lucid and like the movements are very like free. Where it's like in other kind of animes, it's like da, 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 da. There, it's like a wave. It's like you got to ride the wave. But yeah, I say those in no particular order are my
Mm.
top five.
Did you ever check out Demon Slayer? Because that's a huge one right now.
Sounds oddly familiar.
It's a more recent
Is it
thing.
on Netflix?
I believe so.
Oh, so I might have to watch that now.
You were watching Hunter x Hunter recently.
Yes, I finished that at the start of the month. Okay, we're being honest here. Like we're honest people, right? I liked the anime. I really did. However, I just kind of like the last.
Where is
Listen,
this going?
no. I'm about to be canceled by all the Hunter x Hunter fans, but listen to me. The last episode, like it kind of didn't feel like last episode, and I know like they're waiting for the anime to be done again, and who knows when that's gonna happen. Hopefully soon, because like I like if they said we're gonna pick up the anime and start doing it again, like I would consider watching it like as it's catching up to the manga. But the one thing I didn't like about Hunter x Hunter was the whole Chimera Ants arc was so long.
Mm.
Like I felt that arc to be the longest. I was like, okay, we get it. What like something else needs to happen now.
A show I watched recently, or revisited, I guess, was Axel World, which is another anime by Reki Kawahara. Light novels, at least, originally written by him. That's a really fun one. It takes place in the same world as Sword Art, but in a not so distant future.
Oh, okay. So then I was gonna ask like, oh, like is there gonna be like a crossover? Like
It
do
happened in the
crossovers happen in anime?
novels. Yeah, sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes it's really weird though because you have clashing art styles.
Yeah, that's the thing I was gonna say. Like, it would have to be in someone in like the same universe, like of the same writer, or else it could be a little weird.
Yeah, hold on. Let me just figure out what this other series that the dude who made Fairy Tale wrote, because I watched that too and I loved it, but it won't come to my mind for whatever reason. What was it called? Rave Master? Hold
Oh, like a rave, like yeah, like that kind of rave, or
Not
like
quite.
okay, because that would be a
um
cool anime. I would watch that.
Rave Master was pretty cool. I watched that to the end. Same writer as Fairy Tale. There are certain characters from Rave Master that made their way into Fairy Tale.
Ah, okay.
So that's pretty cool. And they both appear in a crossover episode where it adapted the fairy tale style.
Oh, okay.
So the characters of Rave, while they had a similar art style to begin with, just had slight changes to fit in the world of fairy tale.
Gotcha.
I think one of the times that art style actually did go together really well was the time that Luffy met Goku. There was a One Piece
Um,
crossover with Dragon Ball a little while ago.
oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, it was just like
Um,
a Dragon Ball Super special. The other unexpected crossover that happened was Hello Kitty and Gundam.
Hello Kitty. Like Hello Kitty.
Yeah,
How and why are my two biggest questions.
so basically for Gundam's 40th anniversary, it was right at the same time of Hello Kitty's 45th.
Oh,
And
okay.
they just did this special and it's so stupid. Hello Kitty literally tries to stop these giant robots from fighting.
So what does she do? Like fight him off with the power of her love?
Man.
Giant robots and Hello Kitty. That kind of sounds like 2020 in a mashup.
Pretty much. What are some universes that you would like to see together?
So for me personally, even though I'm just watched and watching these animes, I would have loved for there to be a Hunter x Hunter and the Promised Neverland crossover. So the same voice actress that did Killua in Hunter x Hunter does Rei in Promised Neverland. Both
Oh
of
yeah.
these stories also revolve around kids, defying all the odds, being and powerful. I just think it would work because both Gon and Killua have defeated monster type people, and now in season 2 of The Promised Neverland, these kids have broken from the farm and now are fending off against the monsters that they were told are in the real world. And I would just love there to be more Hunter x Hunter anime, period. So I would just love to see that happen.
For me, the only ones that really come to mind when I was watching Fairy Tale, the connections between Fairy Tale and One Piece were always very
Hmm.
prevalent, and it was something that we all hoped and kind of expected to happen at some point, but never did. So that could have been kind of cool. The other thing is Hiromashima, creator of Fairy Tale, is working on a new project now called Eden Zero, and all of his stories are connected in some way or another. I know I talked about the Fairy Tale and Rave Master crossover before, but Eden Zero is another thing. It's got more borrowed characters, like Happy from Fairy Tale is in this, except it's not the same one. And then Plu is here again too, but like I don't think it's the same Plu. I don't know. The whole thing's kind of crazy. So I think it would be really cool to see Hiromashima's characters all on screen at the same time, like to have Haru from Rave, Natsu from Fairy Tale, and now Shiki from Eden Zero. Now, Mashima did publish a manga that featured all three of these characters on True Island together, but we haven't seen that come to life on screen and probably won't unless Eden Zero gets an anime adaptation. Another
Hmm.
thing that's really interesting about the three of them is they're named after the seasons. So it's very likely that we'll
Oh,
get a fourth one as well.
oh, so be a fourth character then.
Natsu uses fire magic and stuff because he's named after the summer. Haru's name means born in the spring. Shiki, I don't remember what he. It's likely that there's going to be a fourth. So to see these four characters on screen together at some point, maybe all four of these stories have some greater purpose that they're going to amount to at the end. I would love to see
Yeah,
that.
to see everything tied up into a nice little bow at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I would also love to see just a variety of different animation studios coming together and having a Avengers Endgame kind of moment where everyone's just together and
Oh
they have
man.
to defeat the greatest evil known to all anime of all time. And that would take a lot of money, a lot of patience, a lot of bargaining. That would be the epitome of life.
Okay, okay, but hear me out. We pull Light up with this freaking Death Note, and Naruto's here, and Gon and Natsu and Ichigo and this that whatever. Everybody's here. It's like Super
Hmm.
Smash Bros. Ultimate. It's like Avengers
Yeah.
Endgame, and they're paired up against Hello Kitty,
Why?
a giant
No.
Hello Kitty.
That's the huge villain that's gonna destroy every anime universe is Hello Kitty? No,
Yes.
no. I'd rather have the Muppets destroy every anime universe than Hello Kitty.
Attack on Titan season finale. They gotta take down the giant Hello Kitty.
Stop. Hello Kitty is the new Titan that they just found.
She's like the Warhammer Titan. Her human's actually inside the bow.
Oh my god. That'd be sick though. Honestly, all you just see is this massive kitty in this like, polka dot dress and cute little bow. It's like, I'm gonna eat you.
Hold
And
on.
you're just like, oh my god, it's Hello Kitty.
Paolo, the first episode. You see Hello Kitty peeking over the wall.
Oh Lord.
Oh, I
Oh
need that in
god.
my life. I need that
Some
edit. Maybe it exists.
I honestly I wouldn't put it past the internet. The internet does some hilarious, hilarious edits of anime sometimes.
On that note.
On that note, wow.
Oh boy. Well, we had some interesting conversation. We talked about places we started on our journeys, some of our childhood favorites, and how we've got to where we are now.
Well, everybody, thank you for listening to episode 2 of Anime Academy. Class is dismissed, and we hope to see you next week. I'm your headmaster, Paolo.
And I'm Zakk.
And this has been Anime Academy.
Stay tuned. Next week, we're going to talk about some of our recommendations for starter anime, as well as go over some lists. Take care, everybody.